Hey everyone, Kim here at Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing a Mystery Mystic Monday reading, exploring the energies surrounding the disappearance of Charlotte Sena. She was last seen on September 30th, 2023 at Moreau State Park. She was hanging out with her I guess it's family friends, but they're so close. They're like cousins. She was hanging out with the other kids. They're at the park for the weekend. It's a family trip, at the state park, which in most instances is pretty safe. Well, she wanted to do one more loop around track A in the park, and she went around by herself alone. And within 15 minutes, her family knew something was off, and they began to frantically look for her. The whole park, the community, it's just at a standstill. So my heart goes out to her family, her fellow students and friends, the community up there. And we're just praying for a really good outcome, that she's found safe and sound. That's what we're praying for. All right, I just had to say that because that's what we know. Like, she was last seen, Saturday evening. We have Spider. So what we're doing is we're looking for the overall energy surrounding the disappearance. Like, what is the nature of the disappearance? Maybe clues, information. Just so you know, I'm working with the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. It's little, so it's kind of hard to manage sometimes, but I choose to anyway. Okay, Spirit. Any additional messages? All right, so it goes without saying that she is in need of medical attention with the blood card. Okay, I mean, clearly she's been missing since Saturday evening, so whether she was taken or not, I mean, time is of the essence here to get to her. What I like to do is I like to start off, though, reading the cards, seeing how they talk to one another, to see if we can get some clues on what's going on. So we first go with Spider, and I'm going to zoom in so you all can see the cards. I wasn't, planning on doing this reading today because I was, kind of hopeful they would find her. And now it's like, I'm sure they've turned that park upside down looking for her, but I mean, I know things can happen where people can be, they could have fallen somewhere, I don't know. But she also could have been abducted. So it's like, I was praying that wouldn't be what's on the table here. But we have Spider. This card's key meaning is strong and powerful female energies carefully designing one's life. So it's like female energies. It could represent Charlotte, like Charlotte's Web. She wanted to go out and explore. Somebody may have befriended her. Curiosity on her part. She may have seen something earlier in the day. She wanted to go back. She felt safe doing that. She went back. The Spider is also, it's interesting because it could be, it could be okay from afar, but you get too close to the spider and they bite. So there's that. Then we have this book card. Someone being in communication with her. Someone being in communication, having knowledge, communicating with her. They may have escaped from their own reality as well. Maybe temporarily living here, working here, book. This also could represent something like by the book. Like, if it looks like this, like for example, if it looks like an abduction, it is an abduction. If it looks like she could have wandered off, it's something by the book. But I think there was somebody who was cunning enough and able to orchestrate something to communicate with her. Something she's seen or talked about or communicated with someone. And as a result of that, with the Harp card, again, it's like, that it could represent, they lulled her. They, a situation that felt safe to her. A situation that felt safe to her. But as I mentioned before about the spider, you get too close, they can attack and bite. Have you ever seen a spider attack something that comes into their web, right? Something that comes into their web, something that they planned out the web, and she just happens to come to it and get entangled into this web. So with blood, I mean, if you're looking at this from a perspective of maybe she fell and had an accident, if this could represent needing medical, like maybe she fell into some sort of trap or area where animals are. Who knows? I don't want to speak anything like into existence or anything like that. I'm just, looking at the different ways the cards could go. Well, I'm just going to read off the keywords to this card. Okay, so blood, the keywords are life, vitality. Then the third one is sacrifice. Next is heritage and ancestry. So this could be a personification of a person who may be in the know or responsible for orchestrating, for creating that web that she came into, that she felt safe. It's like a fly or, some other insect that is moving about the web, going about their life. Something may have even enticed them to walk a step further and closer. And then once in, there's like an attack or some kind of something happening to her. What this card could mean, since the very first keyword that the creator associated with this card is life, well, maybe it could indicate she's, living, but she's in medical need. Iceberg. But it also, it could go other ways that I will not talk about at this time. You all can infer as you wish. Now, iceberg. Sometimes when the iceberg and like a stump comes into play, it can represent some sort of misadventure, an accident, not seeing something that, obscures your vision, and it could represent something happening in that way. I'm just saying, I'm not ruling out kidnapping. I'm saying that because of this. It could be that someone is saying that they're hurt or saying that something happened and she's curious or whatever. I don't know. Something stopping in the tracks. And I don't know if state parks have cameras and such. Man. So the key words to iceberg is obstacles, hidden emotions, self-exploration needed. Problems may be bigger than you think. Problems may be bigger than you think. Sitting underneath this web. Yikes. This runs deep. Information known about this. Not a ring, could it be? All right, let's keep going. This card is about something ending prematurely. A resistance may indicate the need to extract yourself from a certain situation. Trapped, sinking, resisting, something stopping in her tracks. Cat. This is okay. So the cat sitting underneath the harp card is interesting to me because one of the keywords is resurrection, and you see a harp card and you start to think like time is of the essence, like now needs to be today finding her. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Now, on a lighter note, it can mean, the cat card can mean an independent person who's faced some misfortune. And intuition. It's going to be someone's intuition. Maybe someone, a searcher or law enforcement personnel or a family member. Their intuition is going to help them to find, find her. So there's that with the cat card. Cats can move and blend really well into the surroundings, right? They can, the way they walk and the way they move. Something about the way someone moves, so the way they walk, they blend in, they hide in plain sight with the cat. And then we have the pipe. Now, the key word to this card, the first key phrase is peaceful outcomes, tranquility and contentment. It's like all the comforts of coming home and spirituality. So that's interesting to me. So that's why I'm saying, there's something going on with blood and the pipe. On the plus side, it can represent a peaceful outcome, but then we'd be like, okay, what is that? What is a peaceful outcome? And you can infer what you think it is, respectfully in the comment section, but I have my own thoughts and we'll just leave it there. But what all this to say is something about, being lulled into feeling safe into someone's web, or something like a web or something that traps. Being hurt, and this was after someone stopping her on the track, abruptly, getting in the way. Perhaps this could have happened earlier, and then again, like she encounters this person feeling safe because maybe she saw this person, this thing that is luring her. She saw it earlier, but this is saying she felt safe enough to kind of come close to the web or inside the web. And this person who hides in plain sight, could that be a local? Could that be an employee, allegedly? Could that be someone who just is native to this area? I don't know. And then peaceful outcomes. And I'm going to pause here. Just going to work with just a few decks because, again, we're just trying to see. So, I want to pull some different kinds of oracle, and we'll stop there. I'll be right back. All right, so just gonna pull a few cards from this deck, the Divine Shadow Self Oracle. Is there any shadowy elements for us to be concerned with? Betrayal. So it's that element again where I'm like, it's that element. All right, let's just stop there for now. We're just gently tapping into the energies, right? Seeing what's revealed. First card we got is betrayal. Withdrawn. Disrespectful. Regret. Now, betrayal. Almost received, like be on a trail. Okay. Sometimes the keywords they'll say is like I say it aloud and it's telling me something else, like a trail, be on a trail. But betrayal with these cards could speak to why she wanted to go off on her own in the first place. Not saying that there was like any problems with the kids per se, but maybe there was something where she's tired or they're tired, they're cranky, and she wants to go one more loop. So let me zoom in here so you all can see it a bit better. So she goes in, she wants to go, and she makes a decision that she later regrets because she ends up encountering a situation or person that has her tangled up in a web of sorts, right? This could mean someone betrayed a trust or there's some level of betrayal here. Betrayal can oftentimes represent someone who was in a position to protect something that was supposed to feel safe, someone who's supposed to feel safe, and they are not. That doesn't translate, though, to family members. You know, of course, in some situations, maybe not this one, of course, but in some situations, yeah, betrayal of someone close to her, but it could be betrayal of someone who's in a position that they're supposed to play by the book, go by the book, and they didn't. This person could be withdrawn. It could be withdrawn. They could be withdrawn, maybe just off the beaten trail in terms of a location. Withdrawn. Someone also, again, who hides in plain sight. Disrespectful. That's not good. Someone feeling disrespected. Either she felt disrespected, someone who is responsible or orchestrated this is feeling disrespected, or some level of disrespect in the energies kind of being a part of leading up to this situation. And then regret. Now, regret could be just representing the regret that the family members have. If we could have did this, should we have allowed her to do that? You know, why this, why that? The kids could be having a sense of regrets, right? So we want to be respectful in the comment section because, you know, this could really happen to any family. Mine's included. I had a near situation where my sons, they were like preteen, and anyways, I'm not going to go into it, but I had a similar situation, but in Northern California, and it was scary. Thankfully, my son was with his friend, and the little boogers went off, and they came back eventually. They found their way back to the cabin, but I was literally about to call the ranger to raise the alarm, and it's terrifying, you know? So, anywho, so that could be what we're also picking up on here. Their feelings, too. You see how cards can have multiple angles and facets of the situation? I mean, some people could say that this could represent how the family, her family, feels towards what happened, you know, with the kids, with her going off. But again, these things, children, they should be allowed to go on a little track, right? They should be allowed to ride a bike, and that's a half a mile long, and be safe. We all have done it if you have gone camping before, right? All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to pull some additional cards. All right, so we're going to just pull a couple cards from the Dark Mirror. Colorless Angel. Any other information, Spirit, you'd like to share with us? Yeah. Okay. Colorless angel. Masquerade. Someone putting on a front. May even be someone who is responsible for what has happened. Concern, but really a colorless angel. This also can represent something happening, a life, a life being threatened or taken, God forbid, as it relates to something like hiding behind a facade. I'll stop there for a moment. All right, so let's just tap in really fast. We have a meeting. Okay. Needs medical attention. Notice it's a young lady. Family members. Crime scene. Accessory after the fact. Debt. It's weird. Man. Remorse or regret, that keeps coming out. Okay. I'm going to stop here. All right, so we have meeting. Remember how I was saying earlier there's like a web or something like that that's behind this, that orchestrated this chance. It felt like a chance meeting, but it wasn't. Does that make sense? Like somebody planned something, maybe unbeknownst to her, unbeknownst to little Charlotte. It shows this female in the picture. So sometimes it can represent someone who's beguiling, like a young female who may have been the reason why she wanted to go back and talk to someone. I'm just saying, could be something where Charlotte felt safe. She felt safe. Needs medical attention. Wherever she is now, some form of medical attention is needed. That went with the cards over here, all the way over there, the blood card. We have family members. This doesn't mean her family members. If it is referring to her family members, it could be like, maybe this is just their family being at the, they're in an outdoor setting, they're at the park. This is just affirming their presence. But it could represent there was a family or a family of people who actually know more about where she may be at. Maybe there's going to be a family of witnesses who were camping who has already given the police a statement about maybe seeing something suspicious, a suspicious vehicle. Maybe one of their children encountered somebody who was acting peculiar and strange and withdrawn, or they picked up on some kind of peculiar behavior with someone who works nearby or works with. So that could be also what this is speaking to. I'm just thinking of different things of what the family members card could mean about, right? So family members, someone operating in a gang or family situation, crime scene. So the crime scene could be the abduction or could be the luring of her, and it happened inside of just stopping her on the track. And that's the people around that track A, I think that's what it's called. The campers there could probably provide some information about the hours leading up to it and then thereafter what happened, because there could be something that they're not remembering. Okay, so crime scene doesn't necessarily mean something, bloody happened. It could, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. It could be at the point of where something got her off the course, off the trail, stopped her in her tracks. Okay, accessory after the fact, so somebody is helping somebody else with covering this up, keeping her at bay. Or it could just be that, it's just somebody else who may have inside information as to what transpired after she went missing. Okay, that could be all that it means. Some of the cards that I found interesting is the debt card and motive, jealousy. There is a motive. I don't know how jealousy would tie into it, or debt. Like somebody feeling like someone owes them something, or something is owed, or this person who is in the know or is responsible is heavily in debt. I don't know. I don't know what that is what spirit is speaking on with these two cards, but they jump, so here we are. There could be something coming out, rumors, things of that nature, that may or may not even really have anything to do with her disappearance. But yeah, could be something that sometimes when we're doing these readings, we're picking up on auxiliary energies that are not necessarily central to what has happened or what's coming up. All right, next up, let's see what else we have here. Another peculiar one that I'm like, city or urban. This could be that now she's in an urban area versus just in where they were, a rural campsite area, or the person who is in the know or could have orchestrated this is from a nearby major city or urban environment, or it's going to take outside influence from other cities, jurisdictions to come in and help and find her. I don't know. Let me know what you all think about the city or urban card, or really any of the cards that are on the table. One, like I always say, two minds are better than one, and so forth and so on. So it's always interesting to hear your perspectives on things when you do your own readings on them and you share them in the comments section, or if you see something in the readings, it just helps. Boat. Now, this could be near or on water, clues near or on water or on a boat, someone who lives on a boat. It could be just merely conveying to us that somebody was traveling, moving from point A to point B, moved her from point A to point B, or she moved point A to point B, and it's in close proximity to water. A threat of some sort with this knife or stabbing card doesn't necessarily mean that happened. It could, but you don't have to just look at that aspect of it. You can look at it being somebody, there was a threat. Okay, that caused her to need medical attention. A man being behind all of this, or a man in the know. More information. Somebody remembers something. A man remembers something. And then we got regret and remorse again. That came up over here. Regret or remorse. So now that we have an indication of there being perhaps someone who's in the know, a witness, or someone who actually has been involved, there's some personification here in this. I have cards where it is just like, okay, she had a mishap, she had an accident, she fell, but it's starting to look more and more like what it is, like what the book card said earlier to us, that it's leaning very much towards an abduction, I'm afraid. But I've shown you different ways of how to interpret the cards. All right, I'm going to pause here because I want to scoot these over and pull some additional cards. I'll be back. All right, so I'm going to pull for just a few defining characteristics cards, because perhaps there's someone who may hold these defining characteristics who have information. Maybe they are a witness. Maybe there's someone who fits the bill in terms of maybe someone who is in the area. We're just going to pull a few of these cards. Okay, now that's interesting. Okay. Okay. I get a sense that there's a couple of people, or people in the know. I don't always want to be accusing, allegedly. It could just be people who may have seen something. Maybe they are witnesses. Okay, so I get a sense that there could be more than one person that these cards are referring to. And okay, and let me tell you why I say that. So we have highly attractive, but then later on, after the balding or shaved head card, which is probably one person, we have unsightly. So unsightly can sometimes be that their physical appearance is unsightly, or something about their persona, or their, like, who they are as a person is ultimately unsightly. Maybe not physically, but like, you know, their personality, something about them. So that's interesting to me. And that goes up against highly attractive. So like someone could have been attractive to her. Something was attractive to her that lured her into an area or, you know, of space earlier in the day where she felt comfortable. When she saw this person or attractive thing again in the evening on her bike ride, she still felt safe. Charlotte still felt safe. Then we have black hair. I mean, I suppose that the person could be balding and shaved head, but maybe have a black beard, for example, or facial hair. But it could denote someone else with black or dark hair. Long hair. So that goes up against. So that's why I'm saying I feel like there could be more than one person. We have two cards here that indicate there is two people. Two people. Accessory after the fact. Two key critical people who may have seen something or may be involved or know something. Elderly or mature. Elderly could be just older than her, adults. Mature, older than Charlotte. Not like maybe a fellow friend, like someone a little like a teenager, but maybe someone who's much older. Okay? That's what this could mean. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to put these off to the side, pause here, and we're going to keep going until I'm called to wrap up the reading. Be right back. Okay, so now let's look at any information on spaces, places or spaces that may be pertinent to this case. It's always interesting when the flower shop card jumps, because it's kind of like, that's interesting. All right, so I'm going to share with you all Now, I don't know what to make of these spaces because the top row, we have online, flower shop, apartment, and homebound. Online interactions, following, tracking, grooming, someone having vital information on their like computer, or they may live or reside near a botanical place, a flower park where flowers grow in abundance or are sold, apartment and homebound, workspace, thrift shop. Perhaps this person works for some sort of shop, or if we have convenience store, someone, a witness who works workspace at these spots, nightclub, some element of the underworld or nightlife. Does this make any sense? I don't know. Like, I was hoping that Spirit was going to give us like, okay, she's like in a little hamlet over here. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's maybe speaking more about the persons who are in the know and like where they are now, or where vital clues that may be about her disappearance are located, things of that nature, or where these people may work, with the workspace, thrift shop, convenience store, nightclub. I did a pre-Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle reading for her case, for her disappearance. One of the cards that had jumped, I was like, oh, it didn't jump in this reading, but it was the factory card. So it could be someone on the job, working, doing something in the commission of something else. So yeah, so I'll just pause there as I got to make room for a few more cards. Be right back. Okay, so let's see in Spirit if you reveal any more details about Charlotte's disappearance. Okay. We have internet messaging, social media. So that is interesting. We have online. What is about online? Could it be rumors? There's already Reddit threads. There's I'm sure going to be a web sleuth. There's Facebook groups. So it could be just talking about this case has the potential to really like snowball online and get out of hand. So just, trying to keep your wits about yourself on what is real and what versus what's not. This also could represent some sort of connection or somebody watching, watching her or watching the coverage after the fact, after her disappearance. It could be that, or vital information on social media or the internet or through messaging about the case. Let me put this over here. Arrest, caught. Okay. I like to just alternate as I shuffle. Thank you, Spirit, for your divine insights, what you wish to share with us. Sometimes it's abstract. And you're like, okay. A bunch fell down. And I'm like, okay, well, let me sort through what it is you are saying here. Spirit, what else can you share about 0 to 15 kilometers? Okay. Interesting. She's not taken very far. Accomplice, female suspect. We got that earlier with the other cards. Accessory after the fact. Okay, somebody's on the move, 110 to 160 kilometers. Someone's on the move. Nearby, took her right there, grabbed her on the move. Country, wilderness, green, lush. So it could be somebody from the city, has city roots, but where she could be at now is in the wilderness. This is planned. Okay, that makes sense with the spider's web analogy I talked about earlier. We have 2 to 4 people, small intimate group. Okay, that's what I was saying about a family feel of those in the know or may have information. We have kidnapped, abduction, taken or lured, or, you know, taken from one place to another, or what could feel like she's being taken. Maybe this is just really speaking on what people are like, what the collective really truly believes, you know. So there, that could be what that's only speaking to. But this really is quite interesting that this card, out of, I think there's like, I don't know, 160 cards. I don't know. It's a very chunky deck. Then we have justice. Justice. So justice is about, you know, some sort of answers being revealed, or something being restored, or, you know, what's fair is fair. What's done in the dark comes to light kind of energy. I don't know. It's just, I'm curious. There's a big part of me that just keeps hoping that, you know, maybe she just, you know, she ran after a little bunny or something and she fell and just out of sight, but I feel like they would have found her by now. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean strangulation of her. It could be that someone who's involved or in the know has allegations of some sort of abuse in their background, or the person, maybe the female, is subjected to threats of violence or threats of being, you know, harmed. I say this because of this card: intimate relationships, sex, romance, emotional ties. This is what stands out the most to me. Emotional ties. Emotional ties. Okay, we're almost done, friends. We're almost done. I think what I'm going to do now... Oh, before I move on and we wrap up, is these cards. Sometimes when I get these little distance cards, they can mean different things, right? It could mean that this happened very, very close to the campsite, that she was taken. It wasn't like she got lost and then, I mean, I guess this could mean she got lost and got, you know, farther and farther away within 0 to 15 kilometers, and then somehow, some way, she got to 110 or 160 kilometers. It could just mean that the person, this is how far out they live, if there is a person responsible, which it does lean towards someone being responsible, or somebody being in the know and having a lot of information about what may have happened. And they could now be this far away. So it could mean that. It could mean different things, but usually it's telling us, you know, about her and where she was and where she ended up. Or it could be like, you know, somebody traveling back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that rack up 110 to 160 kilometers. Okay. And still kind of on the outskirts of wilderness or green or lush, or this could be where she's located. You know, I mean, I suppose it could be like near a home, or in, you know, inside a place, perhaps. I don't know. In the wilderness, a cabin, I don't know. I'm just, you know, thinking, pondering what these cards could mean. Friends, so I have already pulled these cards. These are the cards that jumped. These are from the This Time Oracle cards, and then also the Wind Clarifying Tarot Oracle cards. I like to just touch base and see what are some key timing elements to be considerate of as it relates to her disappearance. And unfortunately, I noticed it, but I'm glad I did while I still had the opportunity pre-edit of the video, that the mic wasn't taking, it wasn't recording. The cord was kind of loose out of the camera. But anyways, I'm glad that I figured it out. But I wanted to share with you the cards that jumped, okay? I also want to indicate that I forgot to mention that I'm recording this as of Monday, October 3rd, 2023. I'd started around 2:30 p.m. Eastern recording, and then it was like 5:11 when I had to return back to the reading table. So yeah, I just like to kind of give you an indicator of when I recorded these readings. It helps me too to know that as well. Back to the timing. So here are some cards that jumped. The first one that jumped was Waxing Gibbous Moon. Waxing Gibbous Moon. Within a week, Monday tonight, 7 to 9 months. Waxing Crescent Moon, June, and Up in the Air, Undecided. I'll talk about these in a moment. So when I get these moon element cards, oftentimes it could speak to a moon cycle change that will transpire and happen between the time she went missing to the time she is found. It could speak to that. I know Waxing Gibbous Moon and Waxing Crescent Moons, I believe, are happening in October towards like the mid to last part of the month, from what I recall. I could be off, but that's what I recall. I'd have to look and then come back and update the description box or leave a pinned comment with that information. But nevertheless, there's something of importance happening or has happened in moon cycle periods. Okay, between moon cycle periods. And I think they're within a week of each other as well. So this is interesting to me. My apologies for the rooster sounds in the background. Within a week. So within a week could be, something being discovered between these two, because I think this is like a week turnaround time between those two moon cycles. But it also could just be within a week from Saturday when she went missing, or it could be within a week from today, or within a week from Monday night. Something of importance is discovered on Monday at night by the law enforcement who's investigating or searching, or revealed by her family, or the media finds something out that's pertinent to finding her. It could be that she's found. God, that would be amazing if she's found Monday at night. But I just get a sense like there's some pertinent information coming out. Maybe not that's privy to her or privy to the media or to the public, but that's critical to unraveling what may have happened or where she may be, or just there's something happening Monday tonight. This card also speaks to what may have happened tonight. So she may have been riding her bike at dusk, like evening time, and by night it's like she's well on her way to getting out of that area, where she originally was thought to be track A or whatever, path A or whatever it is. And so tonight there's something of critical, something happening at that night during, or just after her disappearance. Oh, okay. Now, then we got 7 to 9 months. And that doesn't necessarily mean, I guess it could, but it doesn't necessarily mean it will take that long. It can mean it can take that long, or, give or take. But it also could mean maybe we get the full story, like the family finally does an interview, 7 to 9 months from now, really shedding light on all that happened and transpired and finding her. So it could be something along those lines. Also, in terms of if somebody is involved, and the reading is kind of leaning that way from what I can see here, it could be 7 to 9 months preceding the disappearance that involves the perp, or the people who are in the know are involved, right? Something could have been going on in their life of significance 7 to 9 months preceding the disappearance. So when you're looking at timing, whether you're using tarot or you use other divinatory tools, or you're using the timing oracle, remember that it could be also preceding. It could represent 7 to 9 months back, or 7 to 9 months from today, or from the disappearance. You see what I'm saying? June is of importance. June, when I get month cards, this represents that someone's birthday could be in the month of June, or key information is found out or revealed about the disappearance or case, or something of importance to finding her is happening in June, or maybe this is when we finally get a true accounting of what happened, maybe watching a documentary. I don't know, It could be something of significance happening in June. Then we got up in the air, undecided. When this card comes, this can mean that everything is in flux. I know a lot of times people think that we as readers or mediums or psychics or whatever we wish to call ourselves, that everything is fixed in stone and that everything then must just fall into play and accordingly to what we're saying. Like if, we need to be 100%. And the reason why it's not always 100% is because you are dealing with individuals who have free will. And they are kind of very much in flux. Everything's very, very fluid at the moment. Everything is up in the air and undecided. Even how they search for her is like, okay, what do we do next? What do we do next? Everything is fluid. So if they're off looking over here, but she's over here, that, that can change how fast they find her. You know what I'm saying? So everything is very much in flux at the time of doing this reading. And so I just have to respect what Spirit is saying with this card. It could be if there is a perpetrator or someone in the know, it could be up in the air, undecided what they do and what their next move is next, if they're a witness, if whether or not they're going to come forward. So everything is in flux right now. And that's just the reality of it. That's just what it is. So then we had from this deck, November, trust in divine timing. Thank you, Spirit. And you are not meant to know. This card made me pause and made me say, okay, I'm going to pause here. I'm not going to do a detailed tarot and oracle reading at this point because I want to step into human mama role and praying for her to be found quickly and just kind of stepping off as the reader and getting away from the reading table and getting to meditation and praying for her safe return, for Charlotte's safe return, okay? And so sometimes when this card comes up, this is more about protection mode to those who are closest to the situation. You are not meant to know, or we as the viewing public especially, there's something about this disappearance that we are not meant to know. This is like Spirit protecting us and not giving us the full picture. And we have to, I choose to respect it. You all can, choose not to. Other readers can go deeper and deeper and probe, or psychics. And that's certainly their prerogative. They have to listen to what their inner guidance is telling them. And if they, that's their prerogative. For me, when I get this card, as well as this one, it's telling me, okay, you have touched on this. You have a gist of what's going on here. You understand she's not terribly far. I know some people are like, oh, she must be out of the country at this point. I don't think so at all. That's just me. And that's affirmed by this card here as well. We got November, somebody's birthday. It could be something of importance as it relates to her disappearance happening in November. And that's next month. More information being revealed, understanding more about what has happened and transpired. I mean, so, within a week, she could be found or another press conference or something to that effect. So that's what I got, folks. Let me know what you all think has happened. Did you do a reading? Did you check in energetically to see what's going on? If you did, please share with me in the comment section down below. If you think of questions for a potential future reading that we could do if she's still not found, let me know in the comment section. Also, if you've seen some things in these cards that you think it means this or that, or if you're local and you know the area and you could give us a further understanding of the lay of the land or the kind of people who are vibing over there or who are over there, let us know. Okay, that would be most helpful. And most importantly, get the word out. Time is of the essence here. And I've emphasized that a lot with this reading. And if you're in the area, even if you're in the neighboring state or neighboring town, keep your eyes peeled. If you see something that looks a little squirrely or out of sorts, or the hairs on the back of your neck stand up about something or someone, just put a call in. It wouldn't hurt. I don't want to inundate people or inundate like law enforcement with pointless tips, but sometimes it is those who are tapped into their intuition that really see something or hear something. They're the boots on the ground, and they are right there at the moment, and they are looking at a clue, or they're looking at someone who's a little off. Get the word out. Call, pick up, report a tip. But just be mindful and, responsible with reporting tips. We all adults here, most of us who are watching. So just, bear that in mind. All right, my friends, on your way out, please hit the like button. It does help the channel immensely, and I appreciate you all for doing that. Make sure you check your notification little prompts, because sometimes they're not set, I guess, and you may miss out on a video. I've gotten where people are telling me that they didn't know I was uploading videos all this time, and they are like, I don't know what happened. The only thing I can think of is something's going on with the notification bell. And subscribe, because that too can help you stay in the loop and be a part of this little family and community we got going on over here. All right, my friends, take care. I will see you all in the next one. Prayers up to Charlotte, her beautiful face, her beautiful little soul, and her family and the community that's out there looking for her. We are supporting you and backing you. All right, friends. Bye for now.